Good morning, good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. This is going to be my first YouTube channel and my first YouTube video, and I want to spend it discussing what you should be doing, what should you be looking for, everything that has to do with looking for a college, being in college, some of the habits that you should be living out, and some things to avoid. Just kind of give a general sense of guidance coming from someone who's already went to college for 4 years, got a degree, got out, got a pretty decent engineering job. So one of the things that I'd like to say first is choose a college that is local to you, right? You don't want to, sure, if you get like some big scholarship at an Ivy League, then by all means go for it. They're paying for your education, might as well take use of that. Now, the reason why I say go to a local college is because you have the option to commute. When you're commuting, you can simply just, you don't even have to go into the dorm, no off-campus apartment, nothing like that. Just take your car, or new car, used car, preferably used car like this one. It's my slightly modified base model Civic. It'll do the job, right? Because think about it. You're spending what, like $1,700 a year on gas, whereas in that same year, if you go into a dorm, you're ending up spending like 11 grand. And typically how they do it is they price it by term. So for example, like per term, if you have 2 terms in a year, it'll be like 5,000 or 6,000 or something like that. And with commuting, you get to avoid the mess of a dorm, which includes unsanitary roommates. Trust me, I know. You definitely do not want to deal with someone who can't clean, especially if you're a clean freak. That's never going to go your way. It just won't. Especially if, you, for whatever reason, are involved with like frats or something. I've seen horror stories and horror videos of frats just not keeping up with the maintenance of their houses, and they're just disgusting. It's abominable. Why would I even want to deal with that, right? Same thing. I wouldn't say so much as sororities. Then again, I wouldn't know, so don't quote me on that one. You definitely. So basically, you'd be better off, financially speaking, commuting to your local college, and don't take away the fact that community college is also a really great option. The same people who are working with me, maybe even have more experience than me, they've been to community colleges, and they're still in the same position as me, just senior positions actually, because they've been there for so long. So in a general sense, in the entire world, this grand, massive world, your degree is like unimportant, or it's not important where you got your degree from. It's important that you have the degree in the first place, but there's also an importance in what degree you get, which is what I'm going to talk about next. Aside from just choosing a local college and sticking with it, I went to Penn State, and yeah, it was local. And then when it finally came time for me to go to a different campus, because the Abington campus didn't offer mechanical engineering at the time, I did just that. I got an off-campus apartment. Next point. What degree you get. So there's different types of degrees. There's bachelor's in science. There's Bachelor of Arts. There's master's science, MS, MA, and then there's PhD, and then there might be like specific ones, like say if you pursue audiology, that's called an AUD instead. So there's going to be some different terminologies, but Bachelor of Science / Arts will typically take you 4 years. If you have AP credits from high school or something, you can use those. You can transfer them into your and the university kind of just decides whether or not they accept that credit or not. So depending on how lucky you get, you might be able to squeeze it in for 3 years and then spend your 4th year doing a master's. So I don't know why this guy is like sniffing my ass. But anyway, those are the types of degrees. Now, really, the conversation I hear a lot of people saying is, oh, you got to go for a STEM degree. Oh, you got to go for, something that involves like science or being a lawyer, being a doctor. And while, yes, that does lead to very good financial stability, it's important to realize that's not the only avenue, right? Business, accounting, finance, there's some good routes as well. If you know some names, I guess in the creative arts industry, and you want to pursue a degree there, then utilize those connections with a degree, right? There's plenty of degrees that you can get. I personally chose engineering because it was the most straightforward thing. Engineers, they're always in demand, and it's rewarding being with people who are kind of similar to you in a way. They think more analytically. They have a ridiculous level of rationality and always have some sort of empirical backing to their points or their conversations, and it's just really nice. That's all I can say about that. I know my roommate, he is doing his master's in accounting right now, or well, at least my ex-roommate, because I'm done in college, but he's doing his master's in accounting. He's going to go out and he's going to be part of the hopefully he's going to be part of the big 4 accounting firms. Who knows, right? My other roommate is doing a degree in data analytics. That's also kind of like STEM. Comp Sci is one that I've heard that is very saturated, and at the graduation ceremony, there were so many Comp Sci kids who were graduating. It was like half the darn ceremony, honestly. Like mechanical engineering was, which is what I did, was the second biggest engineering major, and I still feel like the job security in that major is phenomenal. English, phenomenal. There we go. If you knew someone and they wanted a mechanical engineer, you were in. That was it, really. Unless you did really bad, then you're gonna have to fight more for it. But yeah, those are some of the avenues you can take as far as going into college, and then honestly trying to find a degree that suits you and your interests. But also keep in mind, are you really going to make enough money to live comfortably? That is probably one of the biggest questions that you should be asking when you consider your major, and especially the market as it evolves. I know for Comp Sci students, I kind of pity them because everyone told them like, oh, you got to learn how to code, you got to learn how to be smart with a computer, and they did that. And then the job market betrayed them, because now everyone knows like, oh, well, too bad, you need AI engineers now. So, and I think the whole stigma behind Comp Sci kids is that, everyone's telling them like they should be good at coding, but nobody's telling them like they should be thinking like an architect, and coding is just a tool in that endeavor. So, some wise words there, I guess, but that kind of sums up some of the key points on what you really want to be as far as your college major. I know a lot of people are undecided, especially in the first 2 years. I don't really know what that's all about, but I'm sure there's life situations that I can't fully comprehend. And honestly, hats off to you, because I would have gone insane knowing that I was undecided. But aside from the point, that's one of them. Now, there are a lot of habits. This is just leading on to my third point. There's a lot of habits that you need to be aware of when you're in college that'll either make your experience good or it's going to break it completely. You're like, it's just not even going to be worth it. And I've seen both sides of the spectrum, so I know. I was the better side of the spectrum, fortunately enough. So let's kind of begin, right? First habit, college, it's not like high school. You're literally going into debt. Like, your net worth is now going to be in the negatives because you are pursuing a higher form of education. Shouldn't be that way, but that's America, right? Yeah, you need to, locking in is such a stupid way to say this, but you need to make sure you're on top of your academics, okay? But how do I do that? Well, one, you need to go out and socialize with your classmates, because if it's in a class that has hard material, chances are, if your classmates are social enough, they're gonna form study sessions, and you need to be a part of that. Especially if they're all gonna go up to the TA or their professor and ask a bunch of questions, you need to be a part of that. Not only that, but you also need to utilize the internet to help you gather solutions for problems you might be stuck on. And no, this is not me telling you to go use AI and plug in the question that you're gonna, no, it doesn't work like that. Especially in engineering, it does not work like that. And will give you the wrong answer every time, and the professor is gonna see it, and the professor is gonna just laugh at you while he grades your paper because he knows you used AI. So utilize every single resource that you have, online and in person, if you're going to go to college, right? You need to, I know it's harder, it's easier said than done. This is coming from an introvert. I literally avoided everyone in high school. I didn't care what they had to say. I just wanted to go home and play Roblox. I wanted to go home and hop on Fortnite with the boys. Like, I didn't care. I never raised my hand. I never did anything to stand out, unless, my ego got in the way. But being an introvert is not easy in college, okay? But you need to talk to people. It is not, you should be. You need to. It is a necessity. You're not going to benefit from college if you don't talk to people, or if you don't engage in community activities, right? Like, I never joined a club, but to compensate for that, I made a freak ton of friends. And I'm not cursing, because I know this could be a kid watching this for all I care, but you need to make friends. That's the reason why I got my job. It's because one of my friends interned at the engineering firm that I now work at, and he was like, and when I was applying, I was like, oh, hey, this is the same place that my friend is currently working at. And I told my recruiter, who I was coordinating with, because I honestly, there's no shot anyone is applying to anything good in this current job market. But I told him, like, hey, I know a few guys who work there. And he's like, spit their names and I'll see what I can do. And so that's how I got in, right? Just showed up to the interview, ready to learn, ready to face whatever came my way. And that wasn't the only interview that I had. I had another one where I didn't need references, and I was so confident that even though they rejected me after, a month later they asked me if they could do another interview with me because of how confident I was and how well impressed they were with my skills. So goes to show that connections is at least half of that. When it'll be an easier time for you when you graduate college if you know someone who got a job. So go out, go talk to people, go, I don't know, attend like a I personally hate parties, like those nightclub parties. I hate them. I only went to them like a handful of times because I just wanted to connect with the friends that I knew already. But they're loud. They destroy your ears. Go to them anyway. You never know who you might meet. You might meet like the next big CEO or something. Or maybe even become the CEO yourself and then just like invite all your friends or something. That's what I feel like I should be doing. But alas, here I am. So that's one habit that you should be doing, is going out and meeting people. The second thing is, that was the second one. The first one was making sure that you're on top of your studies and utilizing your resources. The third habit is, oh my goodness, dude. If you're going into engineering, or you might even be going into like accounting or something, finance, chemistry, biology, whatever, you're going to be strapped for time, especially if you're not if you're not like a sorry, if you're not sponsored by mommy and daddy, you're going to have to work, and work takes time. You know what also takes time? Your assignments. So please, for the love of God, get your schedule sorted out straight away. You need a certain level of discipline going into it, or you need to at least be able to learn very fast how to budget your time well. Don't stay up until 1 a.m. playing video games, playing like, I don't know, Valorant, Fortnite, League of Legends, Genshin, WoW, stands for Wuthering Waves. Stop playing it. Stop playing all of that like on a regular basis, okay? You gotta figure out that video games, while yes, they're enjoyable and they will help you survive through college, it is like literally one of the essentials. It can detract from your college experience if you abuse it. So sleep early, unless you're going to a party, then you really have no choice. Sleep early, wake up early, get your studies in, go to classes, go work. And you also need time to cook, right? You need time to cook and clean yourself, clean the apartment, schedule all of that out. Every single semester that you're about to begin, schedule out your time blocks. It is so important, because if you fall behind on your work and you get low grades, what are you gonna say? Oh, yeah, I just didn't do well. No, it's because you didn't schedule your time well, right? And I know don't get me wrong, there are a multitude of mental issues that young people face today. I'm 22, by the way. I'm still pretty young, but young people, as in like people who didn't go to college yet, they face a lot. So it's important to understand that you need to reach out if you need help. I think college is where you learn how to ask for help, and it's important that you do so, because if you are stuck and maybe you don't know how to, schedule your time block or something very well, then you need to go ask your mom, go ask your dad, go ask your siblings, go ask your friends, maybe your roommates if you're staying in an apartment or a dorm. Do something. College is your 4 years of action. It is going to make or break your 20s. I will say this over and over again. It is so important what you do. And I've seen the worst. I've seen my roommate just not care about, going outside. Yeah, we'll drag him along. He'll be easygoing, and we'll drag him along, and he can go talk to whoever he wants and all that. But he's not making that initiative. We are, as his friends, and I think it's more important that you're making the initiative yourself, so that way you can benefit from it in the long run. Again, easier said than done, but college itself is just a big hurdle, really, right? So I guess that kind of wraps up really what I have for right now. There's definitely a lot more that I have to discuss, but at least for the sake of attention span, I'm going to cut it off here. I'm going to make another video, and I'll see you guys soon. Yep, catch you later.